at 9. Tune in every time. We don't do no cap. Report only facts.
What's happening, y'all? It's the one and only, man, Sean Garrett, aka the Pen Man. Shit is just super lit here in Atlanta, Georgia, man. You gotta come fuck with us right here at the Progress Report. Yeah.
The Progress Report.
All right, what's going on? It's your girl, Lala Shepherd.
Boss Brit the most lit.
What's up? It's your girl, DJ Excel.
Hey, this is the Progress Report podcast, and we are super blessed to have the Sean Garrett in the building. How you feeling?
What's good? What's good? What's
You like
good?
that?
That D. Okay,
D.
all right. I like that.
Okay, nah,
Pleasure to be
seriously.
here.
Nah, definitely, man. We super excited to have you tonight. I can definitely say that we're all fans of your work. So, you know, we look forward to getting to know you and all that good stuff. So we're going to get right into it. So, you know, obviously you are a producer and songwriter amongst other things.
Artist.
Yeah, definitely. Artist amongst, you know, a whole bunch of other titles, I'm sure. But your backstory is pretty interesting, you know. So you were a military brat, correct?
Yeah, I'm a military brat. Moved to Europe when I was like, I'm from Campbellton Road.
That's
right
crazy.
Up the street.
Yeah.
South Side. Yeah, so I'm from Campbellton. My mom's from Perry Home, so I'm a Grady baby for sure.
Okay.
So I moved to Europe when I was like 5. My dad was in the military. Actually, so crazy that my mom and dad met on Fort McPherson, which is now owned by Tyler Perry.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, so
That is wild.
yeah, it's funny, right?
True Atlanta roots.
So yeah, that's a really important thing that's going on in Atlanta. Like I'm really proud of that.
Oh, yeah.
Heck yeah.
That's major.
Yeah, so moved a year when I was like 5. Signed my first record deal when I was 14.
In Europe, or no?
In Europe. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I was on stage. I've been on stage since I was about, like, actually performing for big audiences probably when I was like 12.
Wow.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah. So music has always been like really a part of my DNA. You know, I was good in sports.
What sport?
Shit, I play everything. Basketball, baseball, football. I was really good in baseball, football. You can tell by these big ass wrists I got.
Okay, all right.
So you know, I really love music, and I always thought that I think because of how like my mom and dad raised me, I always sort of embraced all of my insecurities or all of the things that people told me that like I couldn't do. Like that shit just really amplified me as a kid. Like I was always.
You want to prove them wrong?
No, it was just a great energy.
Yeah.
Like some people, you know, like today I think a lot of kids, you know, suffer from depression and shit like that. That shit never really, that was just, it was just the opposite of me. You know what I mean? It was just, when someone told me I couldn't do some shit, that really amped me. You know, and I was told like, you know, like my voice was very sort of high pitched. And so some people would make fun of my voice as a young kid singing. But I knew that I could sing, and I knew that I loved doing music. And so I realized that like, you know, I was gonna be a unique person. So from my, you know, as a really young kid, I just accepted myself as being really unique. And so all of my imperfections were perfections to me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And so it was always I was just always encouraged. My mom always encouraged me to make me feel like I could do anything. And so I never really had those issues of second guessing myself, or I never felt like, you know, I just felt really powerful. I felt extremely powerful, young, and I was aggressively in my mindset, right? And I was a dreamer. I'm still a dreamer.
That's major.
Gotta be.
But yeah, so I'm a Pisces. So I'm
Oh man.
I'm fucking.
Yeah,
like
like, yeah, I'm a
Pisces.
Pisces too, yeah.
I'm a Pisces. Feel you. I feel you. I fuck with Pisces though.
Yeah, Pisces are
Pisces.
really like really interesting people.
Absolutely.
Y'all emotional though, right, Pisces? Would you say
Yeah.
a little emotional?
You were sensitive.
Sensitive,
I'll say
okay.
I'm
Yeah,
Say that.
I gotta be
Emotional,
careful how y'all.
sensitive.
Yeah.
My
that
best
emotion-
friend's
that
Pisces.
emotional line is
I feel
can be
you.
interesting, but yeah,
Okay, sensitive.
you know, we're definitely sensitive, and not sensitive in a weak ass way. It's just
Yeah,
sensitive
yeah,
to
for sure.
the atmosphere. Like I could feel shit before it come in the room.
Okay.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So, just always been very optimistic. So being a military brat, I learned how to adapt to rooms and people. Like I say, the first skill that I really learned was people, like knowing people, know how to deal with people or talk to people, know how to address people, and knowing how to articulate myself. That was the one thing I felt like was very, it was a very encouraging strength that I had at a very young age. And I was, I just looked at life. I don't know, I felt like I looked at life a lot different than my peers. So being a military brat kind of helped me, being around different people, learning different people, and not, you know, being from where we from, like being from the hood, you know, we get boxed into only seeing ourselves only so big.
Right.
To the point where you might be talking to one of your peers and they're feeling a bit offended. I notice a lot about people. We become a little bit bothered when you see somebody that has a great deal of positivity, right? And some people call it cockiness, some people call it other things, but it's a strength. It's a strength of passion. You know what I'm saying? And I just always felt that. And so the crazy part was, so moving forward, like when I came back to the States, my deal fell through as an artist. I was supposed to sign a deal with Warner Brothers. My deal fell through, and so then my mother passed, and it was you know, that was like one of the most influential people in my life.
It sounds like it.
You know what I'm saying? And so my mom was my strength, and it was so funny that, like, you know, when my mother died, a year after that I did It's like, you know, so I could have, at that point I could have went left. I could have just decided to give up, because that's how powerful my mother was to me and how much. But then there was another side of her that was like, you know, damn well, you ain't stopping, you ain't giving up, you know. And it just gave me a strength. And so I was really scared to grieve, because I kind of had like a little nervous breakdown when I lost my mom, and then it just strengthened me in a whole nother way, and I just felt like wasn't nothing gonna stop me. And so she used to always tell me, like, don't ever put all your eggs in one basket. Like you're a king, like you're gonna change the world. And so I really believe that shit. Like, I was just one of those kids, like when my mom said some shit, I believe my mother.
Hey, moms
Yeah.
know best.
Moms
They be
do
knowing.
know.
And I be saying that's so important for parents to encourage their kids and
Got to.
uplift them like
Yeah,
that.
that positive reinforcement all the time is important. When you hear you great, when you hear you great, when you hear you great, when you hear you're gonna be great, you keep hearing that shit. You know, none of the static out in the world can put you in a space or can take that joy away from you. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of our kids, you know, I used to come home. I used to come back to the States, and I would go visit some of my family, and you know. I mean, we all know we're from the hood. You know, you see different family members, you know, talk to their kids a certain type of way, and the shit'll make, you know, the shit used to make me feel fucked up. I was like, damn, like my cousins, like some of my cousins, I don't feel like they had that same positive reinforcement. Don't get me wrong, like my mom was definitely with all the smoke and shit. Like she would whip my ass, and she would, or me and my brother, like she would discipline us strongly, but she was very, but also she would reinforce that love and making us feel like, you know, even though I'm whipping your ass right now, I love you.
It's out of love.
Right.
Yeah, so
I'm only doing this
That
because I love
makes
you.
sense though.
yeah. So all of that, my whole travels, the shit just helped. It helped shape me. And so when people, you know, I could talk forever on my philosophy of how things work, but the more you're around, whatever you're around, that's what you will become.
That's the
Right,
truth.
the environment, man.
Absolutely.
Number
So,
one influence.
is there anything you could say that you learned in Europe that you wouldn't have got out here? And did you experience any like racism or anything, or were you embraced and didn't feel different where how in the States sometimes people do?
I mean, yeah, you know, we used to be on tour, be on the road, you know what I mean? Like, we used to have issues with skinheads and shit like that, you know. I lived in Germany. Yeah, of course. But it was like, you know, it was never to the point where I felt like my life was threatened. It was just some shit we had to deal with, you know, just a part of life. You know, learning how to speak German was difficult at, you know, like my first year or two, because I was like, damn, Mom, like, why the hell are we over here? Right? But man, that was the best thing that could have ever happened to me. Like, you know, some of these songs that I've been able to be a part of, like, you know, doing shit like Enrique Iglesias, the Milo, which was like number one for like 13 weeks on the Hot 100 Latin charts, or Pussycat Dolls Buttons, or Fergie's London Bridge. You know what I'm saying? Like those, or working with Britney, or like this shit helped me. It helped me have a global perspective. Period. So whatever I do, I never lost my foundation. Like Sean Garrett is a nigga from Camilton, always. You know what I'm saying? And then from that point, every other element of my travels were things that would help me become different to a certain extent, but better at the same time. And so I always looked at, like, you know, it's like water shapes rocks. You know what I'm saying? And the more, if you go look at a rock now and come back 10 years later, the shit gonna look different because the water has shaped it.
It's been through.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I that's what I mean by, like, I never take them. You know, I've had some, you know, my shit ain't always been perfect, or it hasn't always been great, but I just never looked at it. I just never looked at life in a losing. I never just looked at life as losing. Even every time I failed, every time some shit happened, I just looked at the shit in a positive way and was like, you know, this must mean my next day or my next moment is going to be fucking even more amazing. So God needed to sit me down for this second so I could see what He's trying to teach me, you know. And so then it made me want to give more back. So writing all these songs for other people, like, you know, producing hits for
Go ahead, just
biggest.
tell us. Just lay it down, because some people,
Remind
I don't know,
them, you know
whoever
what I'm
under a
saying?
rock, especially after the verses, a lot. I feel like before that, some people didn't know what you actually contribute to.
True.
But can you just let them know, like?
I mean, I've been really blessed. Like, I'm the number 6 songwriter producer with the most number ones in the shortest period of time in Billboard history.
Okay.
Number 1 is John Lennon. Number 2 is Paul McCartney. Number 3 is George Martin, who wrote all the Beatles hits. Number 4 is Mariah Carey. I think number 5 is Max Martin, who's one of my idols, and me. Or Years, the second record I ever put out as a hit maker. It's the number 14 song on the greatest hits of all time Hot 100 list. Shout out my nigga Usher. Happy birthday. My first 10 singles were Hot 100 number ones. From Usher's Yeah, We Broke Sierra with Goodies. Soldier, Lose My Breath. That was like number 4, number 5. Broke Chris Brown, Run It, Give Me That, Ain't No Way, Wall to Wall.
Ain't no way. It's like
Still
a classic.
banging.
Mary J Blige, No More Crying. I just taught number 1 talk. Mary J Blige, No More Crying. Fergie's London Bridge, Pussycat Dolls Buttons.
so diverse too.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, and I was so blessed, man, that, like, Beyonce was so, the girls were so great to me. Like, when I first went to go work with Destiny's Child, I was only supposed to be there to work on 1 song. The first song I did was Issue the Reason. Then with the Girl, T-shirt, I'm Through With Love.
Oh my shit, man.
Soldier, Lose My Breath. And so I was just really blessed to work with some really amazing people. And I was talking about those things earlier because those are the things that helped me be able to really relate in these rooms, because these rooms are very difficult to you know, it's one thing clicking with a person, it's another thing being able to have that person respect you enough to even listen to you, you know what I'm saying? And then to be able to also be smart enough to know what to give them at the time that they need it, right? So my perspective was always like, if I'm not gonna heighten an artist's brand, then I'm not doing my job. So I talk about a lot of these, my travels and a lot of my influences, because I try to help kids understand that all the shit you might think ain't really helping you, the shit is really helping you. It's helping you develop your mind to be able to articulate and conversate and deal with people at the time that it's most important. And you know, a lot of times today they make people shy away from that shit. Like, that shit is important. You know what I mean? You know, it's okay to learn how to communicate. And then, like, even in
trying to tell
relationships, you know, I stressed him, like, my girl, like, if we can't have no conversation and shit, all that other shit don't matter.
Yeah.
I don't want to get
social media then really
Yeah.
messed up
got
the way
people
people
messed up.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
And can we curse?
Yeah, you can curse.
Okay.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
But it's like, you know, it's just all that shit matters. You know, all that shit matters. You know, just how you can communicate with somebody and not make a person feel fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I used to, like, I felt fucked up. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I've learned how to accept that and get better at being able to, oh damn, this is for a reason. It's gotta get me better to be able. So when you get in those rooms, it's like, you know, some of those artists are like, you know, they may be on a tour for like 2 years, and then they come home. It's like, hey, Sean, we finished the album, or we need that record, we need that single. That's a lot of pressure that I always get. And so that people don't really know what my job was, and I felt good doing that. Like, that was my shit. Most people wouldn't do it. It's like, nah, I need that shit for me. But I enjoy making other people explode. Like, I enjoy that shit. Like, I love my fans. I love the fans. Like, the fans fuck with me because they know what I gave away. Like, I enjoy giving that shit away because it's more to give. You know what I'm saying? And it's making other people happy. You know, me, Usher, Lil Jon, and Luda are together forever. Like, we're forever connected.
That sounds so international too.
I was gonna say, I think that record definitely shifted the sound of the culture, though. You know what I mean? I remember when that record came out. We'll never forget.
I danced to that in a talent show.
We was in Ohio, you know what I mean?
yeah.
But it's like we get shit late. You know, Atlanta get everything first. But I remember when it hit Ohio, and I remember how it made us feel.
Like a
I'm
whole
like,
new
it
wave.
just shifted everything.
I mean, that was a specific. I was specifically trying to fuck the world up because I wasn't in the game. Because I wasn't in the game. You know what I'm saying? I had just did my publishing deal. You know what I'm saying? So I had to make a statement and make people recognize. I wanted people to know my name before they saw my face. So a lot of people, I might have had like 10 number ones before they even knew what I looked like.
No, I'm not gonna lie. I heard your name and did not know who you were, but I
that's
knew
a
your
fact.
name for a fact.
That's a fact.
And I love that.
Yeah.
So, you know, my idea of like what I wanted to become, I wanted to be a one of one. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be something that was, you know, needed. I wanted to be something that was not just accepted, but was necessary. And, you know, and I just wanted to be necessary. And I wanted us to be necessary. The other part too was just like wanting my community. I wanted them to respect I wanted them to respect us. I hated the idea that, you know, people would disrespect our music or our music business or our music idea or our ability to be able to navigate. I hated that shit. And that was just my perspective of like how I wanted to interject into the game.
So why do you think people didn't, the people behind the scenes didn't think Yeah was the record at first?
Well, because it was different. And it was because, like, you know, all of the qualities that it possessed was different than what people could even think to achieve. Like, you know, it's like, I love, like, Jermaine, like, shout out Jermaine Dupri, shout out L.A.V.
Absolutely.
Right? So the Confessions album is probably, like, one of the greatest albums outside
Classic.
of outside. So Jermaine had the story. Jermaine and because they already had the story, the storyline to Confessions.
Okay.
So I was an outsider. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't even in the loop. But it was how the hell am I gonna get into the loop? So my idea was, his aesthetic is the only thing that I can hold on to and use as a bit of information. Jermaine already had the story. They had already had the story. So I was like, okay, he's Michael. And Pooh Bear was kind enough to come in and play. So Pooh Bear came in and played like 3 records. He played like Caught Up. I heard Caught Up. I heard Superstar.
Ooh, yes.
And I heard the record that what's my man name? The one with Jadakiss.
I'm trying to think the name.
Driving me crazy.
Right, it's in my head. I just don't know the name of
song.
it.
Rico Love wrote that. But I heard those 3 songs, and so I was like, damn. But that Caught Up song to me registered as like a Jackson song. It didn't really register to me as like Thriller. So in my mind, I was like, okay, I can beat that song if I give a different energy. So I was thinking, okay, cool. That's the Jacksons. That's not even
That's how he thinks,
off the
right
wall.
there.
That wasn't even, that's not off the wall. That was the Jacksons. So if I could take Billie Jean and Beat It, if I can make Billie Jean, Beat It, and Thriller and put it all into one song. So I was like, yo, I asked my man Billy Calloway, who's the guy that signed me at Hicko. I was like, yo, I want some of the damn Lil Jon beats. And so I couldn't get no Lil Jon beats because they were like, Lil Jon was like, Lil Jon's people was like, yo, Lil Jon don't do R&B music, he do crunk music. I was like, I know, but let me get some of them fucking beats.
Yeah.
And so it was hard for me to get those beats. And then Delicia, who was his assistant, and shout out to Delicia. I haven't seen her in such a long time, but I gotta see her. I owe her my life, actually. So the crazy shit was Delicia got me a CD of 10 beats from Lil Jon. And so I originally, if you go and Google Sean Garrett, Sean Garrett's you hear my original demo.
Gotcha.
Which I was acting crazy like fucking Little John. And
Shout out to Lil Jon.
yeah, Lil Jon's the shit. And
Absolutely.
so his energy. So I actually came up with the idea of the song when I went bowling. When I used to go bowling, I don't know if some people remember, they used to have the entertainment bowling league in Atlanta, and so Billy used to throw that shit all the time. And so the energy of Lil Jon used to always make me fucking hype as hell.
Absolutely.
I bet.
Absolutely.
Of course,
like,
you can't be calm around him.
Yeah, so I was like, damn, if I can write a Michael Jackson song on one of those beats, and we give it to Usher.
See, when you think like that, it makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, all of. Well, you don't have a choice. You got to go in there and, like, they want to be. They're looking for the fucking record that's going to change
Right.
True.
their trajectory.
And
So
that was
wait-
completely different sound
Yeah.
for us.
Yeah,
at that
so
time.
it wasn't about me trying to fit in. I couldn't beat Jermaine or B Cox
Right, yeah.
or none of those guys at what they already do, and they were already there doing that before I was known to do that. So why would I? You know, that to me, I felt like I would have never been effective.
And Usher could dance his ass off.
Yeah,
So that was the
facts.
perfect
The little
record for
chain?
him. Yes. So
I'll never forget
what
that.
is it like? What is your process when you go in to write for Usher or like Beyonce? Are you going in there with already a concept in mind, or are you talking to them and y'all are doing it live? Like, let's talk about Beyonce when you're in the studio with her.
Right.
How is that process?
First of all, Beyonce don't like you to tell her secrets.
Okay.
Well,
So,
how she's
but I'll say she's just a pleasure to work with, and that's no cap. Like, she's really very inviting, and you just know the level of intensity that a person possesses. Like, Beyonce she's very like nice, but she's a fucking murderer. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
And it's like so sometimes, it might be a conversation that I might just have, and I talk about their aesthetic, and I talk about whatever the fuck is going on in their life. You know what I mean? And they may give it up to you, or your job is to keep getting it, keep going, to try to figure out what is special about a conversation that's necessary
Absolutely.
to give an artist to set them apart from what everybody else is doing. Like, I don't even understand why people doing the same fucking music. Like, the shit makes no sense to me. I'm like, y'all all doing the same shit. Y'all all dress alike. Y'all all look the same. Like, how do you become a superstar? Because basically your clock is ticking. So if your clock is ticking and all of you guys are doing the same thing, that means 90% of you guys won't matter in 3 years. It's just not even logical. So I don't even think today as many creatives are thinking realizing how powerful you can be by being different.
Right.
You know, it's very important. Like, and that's why you have one of ones.
Absolutely.
Right.
That's why Beyonce is the only one. You know what I'm saying? So going in, to answer your question, going in with these artists, it's like anything else. It's like scoring. I got to score. I'm not going there to play no games. I never really tried to be cool. None of that shit. I was in there trying to murder everything moving. You know what I'm saying? And that was just my intent. So sometimes people see me and they be like, "Damn, Sean Garrett's intense." Every time I see him, he fucking look mad. But I'm thinking, and I'm
game
focused.
mode. Yeah.
And I'm in game mode all the time. And that was my perspective. I just wasn't trying to fucking lose. Again, I still was never grieving, so I really was just, I wasn't grieving over
That's
my
real
mom. I
shit.
just was trying to
Just
not
going.
think about it, you know what I'm saying? And I just kept going and going and going, and before you know it, I had like 52 #1 records. And
When you
No.
looked up, like, jeez.
now I'm just with the smoke again. So it's like,
Okay.
I gotta
We know
do
you
at
still got
least-
it in you.
Yeah, huh?
Yeah, we know you still got it in you.
Oh, no.
See you working with Ruby Rose lately.
It's game time. It's like, I got to do another 10. I'm gonna try. I need another 10 years. If I can get another 10, yeah.
Definitely. Speaking of that, just going into game mode and just working with one artist. Talk about working with Chris Brown early on, and how's he really like, in a creative mode?
I mean, Usher, Beyonce, Chris Brown, those are some of the most phenomenal artists
And they lasted
ever.
years.
Absolutely.
And, well, not to take anything away from some of the other artists, like Mary,
Absolutely
of course,
not.
working with Mary was just absolutely, oh, man, that was so great. I love Mary to death. Like, I just love, like, she's just like a real-ass woman, you know what I mean? So I used
Same
to,
way.
when I did enough crying, I've done enough crying, Good Woman Down. Like, I could write shit with her that's just like a whole nother level. Like my mama talking to my mom or talking to my aunties, you know what I'm saying? Or dealing with what my aunts was going through within their relationships and shit. And so it was just such a relatable, a lot of people say like, yeah, Sean, how do you write songs for females so well? It's because I seen my mom go through a lot of pain.
Absolutely.
I seen my aunts and shit go through pain. And so that pain never leaves you, you know what I'm saying? So working with each artist is just a different, it's like a job, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not a job to me, but it's like I prepare like a job. Like I prepare like,
Absolutely.
I can't go in there unprepared. I can't go in there not clear on what their brand represents, what they did last on their last album, how much they sold, what went wrong, what records worked, what records did not work. Like it's a whole, I'm in that shit, I'm into it. And so the more prepared they are, the more they're more prepared for me, the more prepared I am for them. We're going to come out of that motherfucker with some shit that's going to change the world. And the approach is always, I'm going to change the world. And so I love to fight. So what y'all saw in Verzuz was just, I'm an intense motherfucker. Like,
It was lit.
And so, and honestly, that's what Verzuz really, that's what the fuck I
sure.
thought Verzuz was
For
about.
sure.
Yeah, because y'all were like the first ones in the beginning, so y'all
And-
kind of set the tone.
And
And
Swizzy, like, that's like my bro. Like we did
A lot
Upgrade
of
You,
songs.
Check Up On It, Get Me Bodied, Ring the Alarm.
Sheesh.
And so me and Swizzy's like a maniac like me, like he's fucking crazy. And he's just intense. And so when, me and Swizzy be in the studio just looking at each other like, he'll just be like, yeah, nigga, you like that shit right there? Be like, yeah, nigga, I like that shit.
That
nigga.
ugly
Let me go
face,
there.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
we just, and that's why the energy be so crazy in these songs.
Right.
So my thing is like, the concepts got to be bigger than life. If the artist can handle the concept. So it's not that like I always work with one-on-ones. Like, so when I work with Chris is like, I knew what he was because I looked for that. But he was just happy as hell and just young and cool. And he was just a very like, Chris is just an artist. He's just an artist. Once you just know that life. And Chris is just phenomenal. He's fucking phenomenal. And it's no cap. It's not like, it's just like certain people got the thing. He had the thing. And so I remember, I never forget, shout out my man Scott Storch and Mark Pitts and Tina Davis and all the people that was involved in Chris' early days. And I remember me and Scott having sort of a disagreement on like which direction, because Scott was kind of in like he loves hip hop, and he was playing me some shit that was really like hip hop-ish, and I was like, nah, he like Lil Michael. That's Michael.
Right.
So, yeah, you know what I mean.
And you seen that in the beginning.
I just saw him as Michael, like Little Michael, but not. He was a different version of Michael than Usher. Usher's Michael. He has a Michael thing too, but he has he was just older and developed in who Usher was. It was like. So I don't know.
You seem real passionate though, even how you explain it.
It's intense about understanding those layers, right? And so when you work with somebody like Chris was a different version of Usher. So I knew I had to give Chris a year. So I was like, Scott, we gotta. And Scott's so fucking. He's just so amazing too. It's like, so we're all moving this button. And, you know, kind of like, no, give me a little bit more of that. No, come here. Oh, shit, let's get that. No, we need that right there. Let's make this transition. Okay, cool. And then the song has to match that intensity with the conversation and the feeling and the emotion. So it's, you know, it's, and then so we did Run It. And then Gimme That. So Gimme That was... Chris was a sweetheart. He's a sweetheart, but at the same time he was magic, right? And so Run It was like that young kid magic, and Gimme That was his intense. Like you see now, he like a little gangster. You know what I mean? That was always in him, and so that's what Mama, you may be 3 years older, but you hot. You know, that was that, and it was okay. And then also we was trying to lead him a little bit in his conversation to older women too, like that was kind of like that little stab.
Everything's intentional.
That makes sense. That makes total sense.
And it shows how much of a team it takes.
Absolutely.
To make. People always say like this artist, but you gotta see it in them. But even to construct the beat, to write this song,
it's all like it's all people. You know, it's about greats being in the room, and so sometimes people don't like that conversation of greats, but greats is like people who really do what they do. You know what I mean? And today it's like, it's not that it's not as dope. It is. But it's just people give themselves an excuse to say, just do some average shit. I just hate that.
So
but that's just me. You know
No. That's a good point. I definitely wanted to ask you, what's your thoughts on just the current state of music and just, just with everything from technology, from, the footwork, just because, you've been in it for a while, so you've seen the process change and things. So what's your thoughts on the current state of everything?
I mean, I love it. I think that the best is yet to come.
Okay.
Like, shit feels amazing now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it really is. Technology is great. You just got to understand that there's balance. You can't have more technology than you got of natural feeling. You can create a robot, but a robot is never going to be as uniquely sensitive as a robot, right? You can never. Our DNA is just different, right? And so, I love a lot of artists today. Like I think Young Thug is like
absolutely
one of the most dynamic. He's a fucking extremely, amazingly dynamic artist. I think he's so talented that finding a certain sound that makes the entire world. He's just so.
I think people look
so
at him like on some regular shit, where like when you really analyze his music, and even I always say like him on the song with who was it, Chris Brown, and you made it sound good. It didn't sound like Chris Brown was
really great,
out singing you or nothing.
Yes,
it was like
really good.
You like somehow you did that really good, and
I
he
really
is super talented. And we hear a lot of people say how talented he is.
No, he's so. I've worked with him. We went in for like 3 or 4 days, and that motherfucker is just so dope. And he's just ahead of his time. Like, and sometimes you gotta understand if you're working with somebody that's ahead of their time. You know what I mean? So like when I was working with Thug, I just had to kind of lay back a little bit and just watch him trying to understand what he understood, because I knew he was in there trying to understand what I understood, and so we're in there really kind of like sparring,
trying to figure each other out,
and figuring out what is he great at. Like, damn, he's really dope. Damn, he did them songs. Like, how the hell you do them songs? And then I'm watching him at the same time. Like, damn, he's really unique, and his uniqueness, that's what I love about him. He's made his uniqueness acceptable. He's made uniqueness acceptable. That's really a great trait of an artist. But I like I love Drake, of course. I think Drake is like really good.
The GOAT. Have y'all worked together yet?
He was on my song called Feel Love. He was on one of the versions of Feel Love.
Okay.
It was him and J Cole. And so we went with the J Cole version. At the time, me and Jay was on the same label, so it worked. It made more sense. But yeah, I got a chance to work with Drake before, and my favorite song of his was that fucking "Girl, You My Everything." Oh my God, I thought that song was so.
They play that every day, every hour, every minute, everywhere.
Was just so
that was hard.
like.
It was like, who is this dude? Like, 'cause
Man, that song was really good.
It
was so good. It was, just from a musical attractiveness.
And to think that's like 10 years plus ago.
Damn, it didn't even seem like it though.
Yes.
That chorus was so
quick.
Dope. It was really good. So yeah, I love. There's an evolution going on. It's evolution is starting to continue.
Absolutely.
To intensify a bit, and hell yeah, like I gotta create like, well, 20 more number ones. Like,
so let's talk about, because I heard Britt say that you was just in the booth, but you was in the studio with Ruby Rose.
Yeah.
She definitely on the come up. We definitely been paying attention to her.
She's dope.
She hard,
Tell us what you think about her and what makes her like.
What I think is dope about her is she has a dope voice, like the way her voice sounds. A lot of times, I will figure out what their tool is and use their tool, right? So you're just taking a voice and trying to make her sound as different as you possibly can, or like elevate her to where her brand matches with that elevation, right? And so she's a beautiful girl, and she has edge. She got a lot of edge. I like her edge. Her edge is her wow factor. It's pretty good.
Can we expect a track from you and her?
Oh, me and her?
I seen you in the background with a nasty face, like something was happening. I seen you in the background with a nasty face.
We got some dope shit. That was actually a song for someone else that we put her on as featuring on. And so that she gonna go crazy on that. But we definitely finna go crazy on her shit. But that was something. That's the beginning. Okay. And she's really dope. Like, she was really cool too. I like her personality.
Good
was really
energy.
She had good energy. She had real good energy.
That's important.
Are you real picky about who you work with, or would you pretty much work with anyone who is willing to be ready to work?
I'm picky, but I'm not like
selective.
I'm selective. I'm not an asshole to where, like, I don't know. I could be somebody brand new. Like, they come from fucking nowhere. If they just like unique, or sometimes I like fucking with mainstream things. You know what I'm saying? It's just. I just enjoy it. I enjoy it. Like, I enjoy competing. I fucking love competing.
We seen it on Versus. Boy, you ain't a regular, I don't know if y'all know each other like personally like that, but you just was on that competing shit, and he was on some like we just
I know Dream.
And it was entertaining though. It was entertaining. I think that's what kind of helped make it so big too.
That was the whole point, like, cause Swizzy is such a funny guy. Like, Swizzy's Swizzy's really behind the curtains. Like, right? So Swizz, like, it was really kind of like, I was cool. I was all fun and games until until I saw this little video he posted, and he said some shit that was like, what? You the culture? Oh no, you're not the culture, nigga. But that's just us competing. That's just us on a and when we on the field,
friendly, right?
Me and Dream always kick shit. You know what I mean? And I'm the GOAT.
So,
but we gonna shit talk all the time.
Do you think verse, like, how do you feel like Versus has benefited the culture, and did you personally, after Versus, see a difference like in streams and all that?
Yeah, it was. You know what? Like, I have been very appreciative of like the flowers. I hate the word flowers, but in that context. Yeah. But I really have enjoyed the appreciation I've gotten from like the fans, and just like so many people really like appreciate my work. And yeah, the shit is just, it was magical actually. You know what I mean? It was just really great to just to compete like that was really great.
Yeah, sure.
You know, I live for that moment, but and just playing those songs and really helping people to understand, like, you see how powerful this music is, and it's powerful what we do. You know, it's really amazing. And to hear people say, like, the shit that hits home most is when somebody say, "Damn, man, I met my first girlfriend on that song," or you know, like, damn, like I was in junior high, like,
Absolutely.
or it's just, the shit is just, it's a really great feeling, and it's really beautiful. And I feel like, you know, we don't use those words much, you know, we should, like the word beautiful and charming, and you know, I just feel like we don't talk to each other like we should.
Uplifting type manner.
Yeah,
I got you.
Yeah, and I feel like, you know, so to see how Versus how big it's become, but I don't know if you guys saw what Busta Rhymes said to T.I.
Yeah, we saw that.
But what's your input on it? Do you think Busta Rhymes and T.I. could go against each other?
We said Busta and Missy.
Yes.
We want to see Busta and Missy.
Yeah, like Tip is like,
of
look,
course.
I am a humongous Busta Rhymes fan.
Likewise.
Like, I think he is one of the best ever rappers, like, for real.
Yeah.
But Tip is... Shit, Tip, I'm from Atlanta. Like, Tip got some shit. Like, people that forgot.
No,
you go listen, you go pull up his discography, whether it be his feature game
Definitely.
or his that boy got that shit.
But do you think it's two different genres?
Yeah. It don't matter.
So who do you think will win?
Look, you got to grab a cup on that one.
What about the generation gap? Like, will people even appreciate
Like,
Busta? They don't really know about Busta.
Really?
A lot of people don't know about Busta, for real.
No.
That's a classic.
Like, the younger kids, though,
Busta
they don't
the
really...
Listen, they done heard that shit.
But let's not get messed up. T.I. been in the game a long time.
Absolutely.
There's no really gap with them, is it? Like,
But that's T.I. was saying. I feel like it's a big generational gap.
It is a
between
gap.
their
It
two
is a
rappers.
gap.
It's a gap.
It's a gap.
It's a gap, but does that really matter?
Yes.
So who you
It
got?
matters.
Yeah, who you got, man?
Yeah, who you got?
Listen,
Cause you just did the beat and everything.
Right. Come
I
on,
think you
man.
got Busta.
yo, I can't even say that. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Like,
So
that
okay,
is
say
a
it.
great. To me,
Okay.
I love it because
Okay.
the dynamics are such, whatever those
I got you.
things that you brought up and said, that the age gap or
Okay.
whatever.
Okay.
That's a fucking fight. I want to see that.
So
I got you.
So you not lying. I would want to see how this is going to play out,
Right.
and I
You
would
don't
want
wanna-
to see
I got
Busta's
you.
energy might win over some stuff just because of the energy.
But T.I. is just
True.
as a fighter. Like, he is
I got you.
like, Tip is a real ass.
and I can see them talking shit to.
Hey, that shit would be like.
Okay, all right.
Are y'all seeing?
I
And
got
so
you.
this is the part that I think people misunderstood. Like, I knew I was talking to the world. I was trying to entertain people too. I wasn't just trying to. And besides, guys, I was holding the phone, so the shit probably looked a little weird.
Yeah, you sure?
Hold on, it's showing good.
So was you lit? Cause you definitely
Well, you know what's
lit.
funny? I was a little lit because I had just went to the dentist. I had a root canal earlier, and so I was on the meds. And what my man at my man Bobby will tell you, Bobby. So I had
Bobby said.
I had a drink and forgot that I had already taken those meds too.
the
So we
combination
was at dinner. So my shit, you know, and I actually forgot that we had the
Versus.
I forgot about the verses. So when he
Hey, you know we going on in 10 minutes.
no, but that's
Like,
what
oh,
happened. That's
shit.
what. No, he had to wait. Seriously, I was passed out in his
asleep?
car. Yes,
Damn.
and Swizzy called me like he
Nigga,
kept
where
blowing
you
up my
at?
phone. I was like, "Yo, what's up?" He was like, "Nigga, did you forget?"
Yo.
And I'm like, "Oh shit!" So I was like, "Yo,
That's funny
Swizzy,
as
tell
hell.
him to yo, tell him to give me 10 minutes. Fuck no, Sean, we gotta go now. I was like, oh my God.
You got the world waiting.
Man, that shit was crazy. It was really
And the crazy thing is about Instagram is niggas will be commenting on your
talking
picture
shit.
Talking
1 minute after
Nah,
30 seconds. Are you going live at
For real.
Yeah.
Waiting on you.
So this shit was like, most of the time, like most shit that be happening in my life, this shit be crazy. Like the book is fucking nuts. Like, cause that's just be my life. It just be shit going on. So really, behind the scenes, but then I saw that video right before Dream
he set you
See,
up.
that's a bad
Oh
combination.
my
yo.
God.
That's a terrible
at that point,
combination.
I was just like, oh yeah, I'm finna fucking kill him.
Yeah.
Like, they got me fucked up.
Yeah.
So it was all of that.
Right.
Yeah.
And I already be with the smoke, so I was
Yeah.
like, man, I know he didn't just say
Nah,
that.
facts.
So the first thing I was like, fuck you, bitch ass nigga. Like I was, just, but it wasn't.
That was the energy.
That was my energy.
yeah, okay.
So you think you won?
What? I ain't even get a chance to go nuts. Swizzy was stopping me and shit. I was like, man, I'm just getting started.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun, and I do have a lot of respect for Dream.
Absolutely,
Actually. I think Dream
absolutely.
is a
Phenomenal.
he's phenomenal. He's
I think y'all
Legends,
kicked
man.
it off great, and I think sometimes people be so caught up in like nervousness
Yeah.
where it was like, nah, it needs to be entertaining like
It
that.
was a vibe.
You
for
know
sure.
what I'm saying?
And that's
So-
what I was like, damn, this, and what was funny too, once I had started to really like come around, and I was like, okay, cool, I'm getting hold on, what the fuck is going on? Then I'm seeing in the liners, some of the people was like, damn, Sean, just play the music. I'm like, this my shit right now. This us right now. This is what we do.
The internet crazy.
So they be, it was people saying shit like play, and then another thing I was thinking about the fans. So the first song I played was I played Better Start Talking that we did for Donnell Jones, and we put JD on it. So I did that shit because I was like, I wanna entertain the fans.
Sure.
They ain't never heard this song.
Yeah.
They on that bitching about that, man.
Right,
You know
they
what I'm
wanted
saying?
the shit.
So I didn't get a
Yeah,
chance
yeah,
to, and I just didn't. I'm like, damn, you know, it's a lot of songs in here. I just wanted to, for the people that didn't know,
Right.
I was just thinking, it was just so much. You was.
I
trying to
think
think
so
about.
many people, a lot of people don't know about the writers or know like the credentials, and I think Versus is really letting that
Absolutely.
breathe and
Absolutely.
even
Yeah,
putting a face to the song, just
Yeah.
how she was saying like she ain't know like what you look like for the first like 5 of the song, but I think it's great.
And balancing my career as an artist too was like
Yeah.
I could never. It's like damn, every time like my album, I got a new album on the way.
Okay.
And the first song is Me and Tank.
Oh, we.
So
I love
the
Tank.
ladies gonna really
Yes.
love this.
So when can we expect that album?
Shit, the album dropping first quarter.
Hey,
You know what I'm saying?
exclusive.
Single, yeah, shit gonna be crazy.
That's what's
You gonna
up.
have a dream on there?
He like hell nah.
Damn, he gave the
Nah. Hey man.
The Santa Claus laugh.
Hey,
Damn.
I'll probably say
Right.
like I say that man, I'm such a lover, man. I don't be with the smoke until I see some
Hey.
fucking
Till you
smoke. man.
popped
When I
off.
see
You got
and
to.
when I see that smoke, this shit we just gonna get clear.
Yeah.
Okay, period.
So nah, but me and him, I'm cool with Dream. I don't know if me and Dream would ever. We might do a record together. Who knows? I don't know.
Nah,
long
it's
as
gonna
he
happen. It's
cool
gonna
with
happen.
it, I ain't got no. I don't have no beef, especially with him.
It be
Like,
the dudes that be
gonna
popping off. It's like, nah.
gonna happen.
Ain't nothing like that. It was just a little razzle
it's
dazzle.
cool.
Yeah.
Nah, because again, it was about the fans.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was about the fans and them sharing that experience and us all being able to share this experience together. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, it
And,
was
like,
dope.
I
Absolutely.
think that was better than a concert.
Yeah.
Nah,
Yeah.
for sure.
You know what I mean? I didn't like it, to be honest with you. I want the shit to get back like how Busta called
Like that
T.I.,
energy, that
you know
type
what
of
I mean?
energy.
I mean, long as it don't cross the line.
Yeah.
But the shit.
Hope not.
It's too nice now.
Yeah.
Come
Got
on,
you.
y'all.
Got muffins
y'all tell
and
me.
stuff.
Y'all tell me.
I don't like how calm it's been. It's been real
got
calm
you.
and just sitting there listening
Well,
to the
but
song.
Busta and
and-
T.I. might be alright.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
it
might
might
need
be
that.
lit.
Now
It might
that
be
you
lit.
say, I'm
Yeah,
like, y'all,
I
that
see your
would be
perspective.
entertaining.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That's the whole point.
Yeah.
It's not just the songs. It's some great songs, but it's their personality.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And honestly, I think that's why
true.
Swiss was cool with. He really wanted me and Dream. I'll save this for next time, but I was with some other shit. to be
Oh,
honest.
shit.
No, I was born. I won't be wanting to compete with anybody. I love it.
So who else did you want to compete with?
I say for the next one.
He said,
Well, no, we definitely appreciate you. We ain't even talk about no love and hip hop stuff. I'm happy we kept it on the music. You know what I'm saying?
man,
Yeah, because that's what I do.
Yeah.
I do music. I mean, that was a I'm a dead. I'm just.
You an entertainer, dude.
Yeah.
I just like doing shit. I just like trying shit sometimes.
Absolutely.
I just like.
Why not?
I just like having fun, man, and enjoying life, and I just want to also like encourage a lot of artists out here that don't feel like you look. You might feel like you don't look the part, or you might feel like people don't support you, and that's the shit that's supposed to make you keep going harder, and I'm just a living testament that I wasn't perfect, but I'm happy as hell. You know what I'm saying? I found giving made me happier. You know what I'm saying? And I still can be myself. So it's like I can go tour, I can go. When I go to Europe, I get so much love from a creative perspective, like as a producer first, then I'm a songwriter, then I'm an artist. But really, I look at myself as a brand, as an entity of motivation, of giving people. We all got different people that inspire us, right?
Yeah.
And so I just want to be, because I was inspired by, like, Babyface inspired me.
Absolutely.
Like, his songs are so, like, that's one side of me, but hip hop inspired me a whole, like, that aggressiveness of hip hop. That's a side of me. So all of that inspiration, Michael inspired me, great. I just always like greats. I just like to study what they do, how they eat, how they talk, who they talk to, like what's their regiment, how they work out. I just like that. I think that's the part that keeps you stimulated about life. A lot of me and my friends, we talk about life. We don't just talk about music. We talk about working out,
Absolutely.
diet, eating, politics and shit. But I just, I love life, man.
Nah, respect, and we get that vibration from you.
Sure.
Yeah, man.
So Sean, we like to ask all our guests to define the word progress, because that's the name of the show, and you are a progressive person. So what does the word progress mean to you?
Love. If we ain't loving, we losing. Progress is love. And you gotta, love can be a heartbreak. That's necessary. I think it's important to experience life. Like, I'll give you a couple gems to young hit makers. You got to start writing music that's going to change the world and stop trying to coexist. It's important. You're going to coexist if you're winning, but you got to try to change the world. Every shot is to give it your last shot, as if you ain't going to be here no more. And that's the one thing that I feel like I'm really happy about, because if I died today, my music would go on and live forever.
Of course.
And that's progress. But that's the love and the passion for what I love to do, and loving the people. I really enjoy the people. Like, I love when I'm in the streets, and I can go to any hood. I can go to any hood in the world, and people fucking with me. You know what I'm saying? Because I always have a certain sense of respect of how I look at them and how they look at me, and understanding their struggle. That shit is important, man. And that's progress to me.
Facts.
I just wrote a song right there.
Okay,
Hold on.
Hey,
Go to
man.
the studio.
Now, this has definitely been a dope show. We definitely appreciate your energy, and I feel like we can do so many parts of interviews.
I'm about to write a song.
Please
tonight.
don't let this don't let this be the only time that you come to the progress report. It's so many songs that I personally fuck with that you
What's
made.
your favorite song? I got
Okay.
What's your favorite song?
DJ played this girl a love song by Jamie
shit.
Foxx.
What you know about that? What you know about that?
Nelly,
Damn.
Grillz. I mean, it's so many songs that I feel like shaped our shit.
I like the one with Mario.
Break up.
Break
Oh, that
Up.
break
That was
up.
another song
I
that
was young as
shaped our
hell,
shit.
like
Yeah.
just like I was like young
Yep.
as hell. Like,
Yo, I knew that record
Like,
would
I
work in
felt
the
that
hood.
song.
I knew it
That
was.
shit
and
was
I'm a hood baby
definitely
too.
did.
I used to
was
DJ
fire.
in a hood ass spot, and
Yeah.
that worked.
Yeah.
I was like,
Facts.
Because the
I used to
idea
love
of that,
Gucci.
and shout out my man, as somebody that I've been wanting to as many interviews I be doing, the one person I wanted to really give a shout out, who is who people be sleeping on, is my nigga Bangladesh.
He a GOAT.
Bangladesh
For sure.
is one of the most incredible
Absolutely.
producers ever. Like, he is another one that's like, see, when he and I get so intense when we're working, that sometimes I just have to take the beat and go to my studio because that Bangladesh is a whole nother
That
mode.
nigga dope.
He really special, and I love him. That's my brother. Like, this shit. Like, so working with him, like we did Diva together too.
Okay, that makes sense because even that intro right there,
Right.
because it was hard as hell for me to mix that breakup intro.
Yes. And we would do, like, I would create these so you hear those melodies on Breakup, and how I like to get really intricate in them vocals, right, to make you to build it as
For
like
sure.
an instrument, right, and you hear those harmonies. If you listen closer to the harmonies is an instrument, right? So Bang was giving me instruments with the beat, and that was the ice cream truck coming around in the hood.
That's
so
crazy.
that's why I knew that would work in the
Because it's
hood.
familiar.
Yes, and
Damn.
so I was thinking about that, and so the conversation that I knew that I had to beat that beat with the conversation, because if I don't make the song as intense as that beat, then we both might lose.
Right.
And so the conversation was loving you. When I'm loving you, why would you want to break up? So that's the conversation you always have in the hood.
Right.
Like you know.
Girl, I love you.
Yeah,
Right.
I'll be wrong. I'll be going. I'll be fucking with the girl, saying I'll be right back, but take too long. I'll be, but I still love you. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So yeah, man. It's just all of those songs have a story.
A genius, man.
I just
We do
love
his hand like this.
Any
Nah.
songwriter
Paint a
need to watch
picture, we do
this
that
and
shit,
get
you feel me?
motivation. But
Yeah.
we
Nah, for
definitely
real.
appreciate you, man.
Nah,
and that's
definitely, man.
what like y'all show. I feel like anybody, like if you're doing something, the shit should motivate other people. If it's not motivating other
Hey,
people,
man. Damn
then,
right.
then really you gotta step that shit up.
Hey, that's what we
Facts.
about, man. Progression, motivation, all that good shit. And
Yeah.
once again, man, we appreciate you for
Yeah,
blessing
thank you, man.
us. For real talk, man. It's
And
the
I love
progress
y'all
support.
spirit, man. It's
Real
it's
shit,
a good
same,
vibe.
same, man. It's the progress support, y'all. We out.
Yo.
We in stay at 9, tune in every time. We don't do no cap, report only facts. Progress report, we got the news, no interviews, we got the stats, keep it a rat, come join the pack, know where we at. We in stay at 9, tune in every time. We don't do no cap.